Hey there, Internet. Bet you couldn't guess which one of these dummies was the real Oxleymations, huh? Anyways, hello again, and welcome to the very next Oxleymations unboxing video. What? Do one of these just move? Now, as some of the more perceptive of you may have noticed in my last video, I happened to purchase a rather expensive little trinket from an online store. A rather expensive little thing from the internet just over this past weekend. Sunday, in fact, was the day that I purchased said object. And, well, today it finally arrived. So, yeah, that's the whole reason for the get-up, was because I just happened to have the little bits of wardrobe to put it together. A random suit jacket, my distinguished-looking button-down shirt, and a top hat I bought at ColossalCon this year. I also just so happened to have a bunch of puppets laying around because, well, back before I moved in with my roommate, thanks to a certain TV show, I just kind of developed an obsession with these silly things. Isn't that right, Mortimer? Yep, that's correct. I also became a little bit interested in ventriloquism, but I never got good enough to actually, get famous with it or anything like a certain Jeff Dunham, or Dunham, as Peanut likes to call him. Anyways, so enough about me and my hobbies and stuff. Now I would like to show you what I purchased. In the flesh, or should I say, in the wood. Oh. Well, as you can tell, first of all, let me just turn the camera a little bit. Sorry if it's about to make a loud noise because of the stand and whatnot. Here we have the package that I received, and I completely forgot to cover up my address. So if you saw that, kudos to you. If you didn't, well, it's my address. I don't want people knowing my address. I don't want stalkers. Stalkers, bad business. So anyway, there, show you the back of the box. So anyway, as I was saying, this little item I purchased over the weekend, and now I'm about to go on ahead and open it to reveal my new little friend. Mortimer, thank you ever so much for getting my box cutter for me. That was such a nice thing, wasn't it, folks? Now, Mortimer, let's just put you over here, where you can't get into any mischief. Okay, buddy? And speaking of mischief, the greatest, well, no, not the greatest, my personal favorite of the creations of R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps series, as well as many other books that I was interested in as a child, as well as being one of the creative minds behind Eureka's Castle. Put that in your pipe and smoke it if you don't believe me. Or go to Google. Google has the answers, folks. Now then, at the risk of revealing my address again, I'm going to place the box on the table as thus. Now, it says here on the top, not to open with a sharp object. Well, considering I have a box cutter, and this is a box with tape on it, I ain't going to pay attention to no little silly label that says not to open with a sharp object. But again, if I'm careful, as I should be able to open this box without damaging the contents. Now let's put this thing to work. do have to be a bit delicate opening this thing. I plan on using this as an impromptu case because, well, considering the price of the figure, some of you may remember, I decided to forego getting a case to go with him. The puppet. Because that would have cost me even more. And I only had just enough extra money to cover this silly thing and still have enough that I can cover all the rest of the things I have to do until my next paycheck. Not to say I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Regardless, I'm getting off topic here. This thing was expensive. End of story. Now, from what I've seen in a couple of unboxing videos for these particular puppets from throwthings.com, shout out to throwthings.com, man. These boxes are packed to the brim with packing peanuts. Wait, I gotta get that on camera. I just love how these things, they're so light and fluffy, they fall like snow. They look like it should fall harder than that, is what I'm saying. So, anyway, the box is open. Now, before I go any further, I have to kind of explain, why I decided to buy this silly thing in the first place. Ever since I was a child, ever since I was a kid back in the 90s, and I first saw, Slappy on the Goosebumps TV series, I was infatuated with ventriloquist puppets and dummies. And over the years, I had amassed a decent little collection of the little buggers, ranging from the 1950s through the 1970s up until earlier this decade, or last decade. It's the 2010s now. Regardless, I had myself a nice little collection of these things, but I could never get my hands on a Slappy. Of course, I found out they had them for sale online, but I just never actually was able to get up the money to get them, which is silly considering it was only like 56 bucks. At the same time, though, I was a lazy kid and I did not even want to go out and, make money for myself. So my parents wound up buying me a ventriloquist puppet. But guess what? It wasn't Slappy. It was a Charlie McCarthy. Similar to this guy, only, well, right now Mortimer's wearing his suit for the purposes of this video. But, yeah. Simple cloth body, what they call a basic style ventriloquist puppet, soft doll body, little string that comes out the back of the head and makes the mouth move. Silly stuff. And that was the very first puppet that I ever received. At least the very first ventriloquist puppet. Because, slotted jaw and whatnot. You said slot. Oh, shut up. Alright, so, yeah. Again, getting back onto topic here. Oops. I really do not want to get those peanuts all over the floor, so back in the box, you little heathens. Okay, so here's my receipt for that. Huh. It comes with the same pamphlet that came with my original Charlie McCarthy ventriloquist puppet all those years ago. I feel so old saying that. All those years ago. But yeah, this one, the quality is degraded a bit because, they keep having to reprint the same thing over and over again. And you can see my hands are getting a little bit shaky because I'm so excited about this right now. I've never had a quote-unquote professional ventriloquist figure. The closest I came to was this one puppet they made back in the 1970s called Simon Says. He had a plastic control stick in the back of his head, and he could twist his neck and stuff and open his mouth, which would be, I think, is what is now considered a standard upgrade, not a deluxe or whatever. Because he could actually move his head and whatnot by turning the stick, forward and backwards, side to side, all that fancy nonsense like I'm doing with my hand. But again, I'm getting off topic. I've always wanted one of these. And in the very unlikely case that my father happens to watch this video, I now completely understand why you didn't get me one of these way back when. These guys are expensive. Holy cow. Get all the peanuts off of him. Here's a quick look at the little bugger before I actually open up the plastic. Just go ahead and lay him there on the table, put the box out of the way. Now, another thing I now know and understand from having watched from having watched those other YouTubers tearing these guys open is there is a lot of tape around the head. And those same YouTubers have annoyed the crap out of me because they didn't think to, go for the tape first. They just opened up the rest and then, tried to rip the thing's head off by trying to get the tape off. So, yeah. Oh, even has his little thing right here. Super Special Deluxe Slappy. Or Slappy Special Super Deluxe. Regardless. I also found out, interestingly enough, that the shipping place from Throws Things is actually in my hometown right here. It's literally 6 minutes away. I thought that was just amazing. But again, I'm giving away more about my location, so I'm going to stop there. We got a dummy to open.
Oh, you calling the dummy?
When did you become Mr. T, Slappy?
I don't know.
Alright, so trusty box cutter. Actually, no, I might... Do I want to risk peeling the tape off? Yeah, I'll just risk peeling the tape off. Sorry that that's so loud. Tape. Alright, and we're back. Finally got through the first bag, and now I'm most of the way through the second bag. Had a lot more tape wrapped around his head. Now I just gotta put it on. Even more tape. It's annoying, but at the same time, I'm glad that the people at throwthings.com were this thorough to make sure that this thing wasn't going to get damaged in shipping. There's yet more tape in store. Buyer beware, there's tape everywhere.
Everywhere.
And for all of those, for all of those of you who are wondering why I don't just cut the silly bag open, I'm also going to use this as part of what I use to, keep him protected when he's in his box over there. At least until I can get a cheap little suitcase, because that's what that's what Slappy deserves. A nice cheap little suitcase with his name on it. Sorry I'm not being very entertaining right this moment. I'm just kind of done with all this tape. And in a literal sense, I am done. See? The bag is open. And then out of the second bag, and his feet flop down. Just one last stinking bag to go. And voila. Oh, my apologies. His hands are also bagged. Let's just deal with that right now, shall we? Little tiny rubber bands, isn't that cute? Oh, here he is. Yes, indeed, here he is. Slave. What? Yeah. Oh, this is so cool. So yeah. So what? Seriously. Seriously. So what? What now? Besides, don't you have a review to do? Huh? This jerk's over here playing with puppets when he should be on his PlayStation playing his game of Terracite Eve. Jeez, you do stink at ventriloquism, don't ya? Wait a minute. How do you know about my review? Isn't it obvious? Now, don't tell anyone I said this, but come on, get closer.
I'm evil.
And Mortimer, you okay back there? So everyone, look forward to seeing some new videos with my little friend here. Whoopee, whoopee. Sorry, I'm just so excited. Well, keep it in your pants, weirdo. Sorry, people, I just have no words. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this unboxing video, and if you liked it, well, good on you. Don't see why you would, though. Honestly, this is one of your, not one of your best videos, if I do say so myself. Yeah, well, it's my video, so... Oh yeah, well... Oh, that's right. I don't have a tongue sticking out action. Damn. But yeah. Thank you again, everyone. Dudes, dudettes, and all other configurations of being. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.